Good morning. This meeting of the Blair County Board of Commissioners will come to order. We'll begin with a moment of silent reflection, after which we'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
With allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Nicole, do we have anyone joining us remotely today?
We do. I believe that is Lindsay Dempsey. No, she's correct.
That's me.
Okay, thank you. I was hoping. Is there anyone else joining us remotely at this time? Not hearing anyone else, sir. That is roll.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Commissioners received draft minutes for the board meetings of June 13th and 15th. Is there a motion to approve those minutes?
Mr. Webster, I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
That is approved. And we'll go on to item 6 and open the meeting for public comment at this time. All right, hearing none. Nicole, we're going to ask you to take us through unfinished business, please.
Thank you. Today's first resolution for your consideration is number 295 of 2023. It's approving a fiscal year 22-23 30-day contract extension for early intervention services between the County of Blair and Appalachia Intermediate Unit 08, extending the term of the contract from June 30th to July 31st, 2023.
Are there any questions or discussion? I'll make a motion for the adoption of Resolution 295. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Approved.
Resolution 296 is approving 11 fiscal year 23-24 contract renewals for early intervention services between the County of Blair and the agencies listed on your agenda.
Is there a motion for the adoption of Resolution 296?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? In favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I'm an aye with an abstention on the one contract with UPMC Home Healthcare of Central Pennsylvania doing business as home nursing agency because of my service on that board.
Resolution 297 is approving the annual maintenance agreement for the audiology voice recorder with SBM Electronics in the discounted amount of $16,588.55 for the period of May 31st, 2023 through May 30th, 2024.
Is there a motion for the adoption of Resolution 297?
Commissioner Webster, I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? In favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Before we announce Resolution 298, I believe it was determined that this service would not be needed at this time. Do you want to remove that from the agenda, Commissioner Burke?
I would like to remove it from the agenda.
It's a service that we're not currently using, and we're going to reevaluate that contract and bring it back at a later date. So we will be taking that from the agenda.
Then we'll move on to Resolution 299.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Approving the fiscal year 2020 through 22 purchase of service agreement and HIPAA business associate agreement between the County of Blair, Blair County Children, Youth, and Families, and Justice Works Youth Care, Inc. for a period of July 1st through 2020 through July 30th, 2022. As a reminder, that was approved as a 2-year contract by the state through a waiver.
Thank you. Is there a motion for the adoption of Resolution 299?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? In favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Resolution 300 is approving a first amendment to the Memorandum of Understanding for Swan Legal Services Initiative dated December 31st, 2022, as outlined on your agenda.
Is there a motion for the adoption of Resolution 300?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? In favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Resolution 301 is approving for payment the following two outstanding invoices for services provided at the Magisterial District Judge Blattenberger's office, made outside of the county's purchasing policy as outlined on your agenda.
Is there a motion for the adoption of Resolution 301?
Commissioner Webster will make the motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? Those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Resolution 302 is approving for payment the following four outstanding invoices for services provided to the Blair County Prison, made outside of the county's purchasing policy as outlined on your agenda.
Is there a motion for the adoption of Resolution 302?
Commissioner Webster will make the motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? Those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Resolution 303 is approving a service agreement between the County of Blair and Allegheny Supply for service at the rate of $75 per hour, with services billed at a half-hour interval, and the quote must be approved by a representative of the county in writing before service or repair is performed.
Is there a motion for the adoption of Resolution 303?
Commissioner Webster will make the motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? In favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Is approved. We've reached the end of unfinished business, and we'll move on to the matter of old business, employee parking garage stair tower.
Additional documents were provided to the county yesterday, a little after, right around noon. The documents were as requested earlier in the month. The Gantt chart or the timeline of construction, as well as just another letter supporting or asking for the support of the, or asking for the contract extension. At this time, I don't know if there are any other questions that you had after reading materials, or if there's anything that I can help you with. I'll be happy to try and help.
Well, I'd like to ask Commissioner Webster, as the liaison commissioner, what her recommendation is on this.
Well, I reviewed the documents that we received, and the meeting notes, and it appears that the county did not create this issue. I mean, unless I missed something, but that's what I got from looking at all of the information.
General agreement on that.
Okay. Excuse me. And in addition to that, from looking at what we asked for when we put the project out for bid, it was clear that we wanted a particular thing. Unfortunately, that was not what the contractor wanted to provide. And that's, in my estimation, from reading through all of the information that we received, was the reason for the delay. The county didn't do anything to create this. Our engineer just was trying to enforce, because that's his job, the requirements of the contract. And I can't say why it took any particular length of time for the contractor to obtain that, provide that, admit that they had to do that. But I believe that they knew from the beginning that this was what they were supposed to do, and just failed to properly provide what they were supposed to provide. Now, they have provided it now, but there was a great time delay, not caused by the county and not caused by the county engineers. And we are going to suffer for extra costs that we had to pay for in order to try to accommodate them, additional drawings, additional meetings, additional all sorts of things. So that inflated our engineering costs. So I don't see how we can extend it and not enforce the penalty, because we certainly are going to. Otherwise, it would be irresponsible to say to the taxpayers, well, we wanted to enforce our contract, but we're not but we're gonna give the contractor a break and not make him pay the penalty, and you taxpayers are gonna basically be paying the penalty for the contractor not following the contract. So my recommendation is that we cannot extend it.
And it does go beyond just the impact of the engineering fees, but
That was
we
just the
truly
first
have had, the stair tower closed since early, if not early in 2023. Back in 2022, we closed that due to the structural integrity of the
Right.
stair tower. And they had 180 days from contract signing and notice to proceed, which would have put them into January 27th, 2023. And we understood that there could have been a chance that they didn't finish up in a timely manner in those 180 days, which is why I believe that the commissioners took and graciously gave them another 133 days to complete change order 1 to a different date in June 9th, to allow them summer weather, warmer weather. Weather wasn't they didn't cite weather as an issue. It wasn't anything uncontrollable. But we really have, the county has suffered beyond financial, as well as, just the time management that we've taken in, and the stair tower was closed for so long to our employees. The inconvenience of that is really where those things combined are where the delayed damages, quantify delayed damages.
I think you both pointed out where we have been accommodating I think at every standpoint, and been very reasonable and flexible, but to the point in time, it's when you tally up the cost of it, I agree. We need the county's compensated for at least part of what we lost. I mean, a lot of the stuff is intangible. I mean, even when you take stair towers, cost that one, just the additional time. Employees sometimes, I mean, it's really cut into to a lot of different issues there, let alone the fees that come our way. Commissioner Burke, do you have anything you would like to add at this point?
Can you remind me, I think you mentioned this on Tuesday, what the increased engineering cost was?
It wasn't it around 2,100, thousand, big difference.
It is. Now that number is hard numbers from what Brian has built. Keller Engineers has been extremely gracious in their billing to the county, as they are the engineer of record on many of our projects. So I cannot tie the two together, and we really shouldn't tie the two together, because we don't know the hard cost of either the delayed damages or the engineering. It's more right now the point of, we've been gracious. I think gracious is a good word here. We've been very gracious in our offerings, moving from a January completion date to a June completion date, and then even further into the month. That we really we've been. I feel the commissioner has been gracious, and the engineering recommendation is that there's not an engineering reason why this contract needs to be extended any further.
No, I mean, I think as I shared before the meeting, I didn't have time to review the documents myself that were provided. So I personally don't feel that I'm in a position to vote.
The fact that the contract essentially here where it expires today, and so it's kind of hard, I think, for us to not to be able to take action. I'm ready to, if there's a motion to do that, with all due respect to you.
So I guess that I would be making a motion that we do not approve a second time extension for the completion date for the stair tower project.
And I would second that motion. Is there any other discussion? In favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I will abstain.
And so the motion passes with 2 ayes and an abstention. Go on to item 9 under new business. Are we ready for that at this point in time?
I'll just give you a little bit of background, but to start, no, we're not ready. This is the result of our Bridge 70s PennDOT project on Bridge 70. Utilities needed moved for that bridge, and our Bridge 70 is on County Road 101. To move that line, we're asking, and that is the proper procedure, to ask the utilities to move their utilities in a right of way, and they will be compensated by the county for doing that if necessary or if allowable. To make sure that we understand where they're moving it, because we're dealing with our bridge that needs moved, but we're dealing with our road that we want to make sure is repaired in a correct manner. We're doing a no cost to the PNG highway occupancy permit. Typically, there would be a highway occupancy permit, and you approved one on Tuesday with a good bond. Typically, there would be fees involved and a $600 fee to the county, but since we're asking for the pipe to be moved, we are going to waive that fee. We did ask PNG to fill out the one-page document that is the highway occupancy permit. They've already turned in all the supporting documents that would typically go with that, but we're really just asking for that, and it's general information. We have not received that back. We asked for it on Tuesday. We haven't received it back yet. What I'm going to do, though, when we do get it, because this could cause delays to the bridge, I am going to ask to sign the highway occupancy permit. Then we will ratify it at whatever meeting would be appropriate. So probably Tuesday if we get that document back. So I don't necessarily want you to approve it pending receipt of the document, because that seems odd, because it's truly the document. I mean, that's what we're missing.
Yeah.
It's the only item on the agenda that we would be missing. So, I want to go ahead and get that document, make sure it looks good. It will go through a very quick legal review. Nathan's already up to speed on it. We already know what we're doing with it. It'll come to you for signature, and then when it does happen, we will ratify that signature at the next available meeting. So just wanted to give you a little background while we're sitting here, but it's not quite ready yet.
Thanks, Nicole. My colleagues okay with Nicole's perspective on that? Very good. We've reached the end of our meeting. We're going to adjourn at this time and thank everyone for their participation.